When I first came to Japan, I knew nothing about the Mikoshi. My idea of Japan was built from old samurai films. Toshiro Mifune, fierce duels and rain-soaked swords. For me, tradition was something that existed only on a movie screen. The first time I saw a Mikoshi moving through the streets of Tokyo, the summer heat was merciless. I saw the carriers strained under the weight, their shoulders bruised, their voices rising in cries that were not yet kakago to my ears, just strange shouts echoing through the air. My first thought was simple and harsh. These people are crazy. I felt no beauty, no devotion, only torture. And more than that, the Mikoshi felt forbidden, like something I shouldn't go near, something foreigners were not meant to touch. I watched from a distance not just of 20 meters, but of culture, language and understanding. The Mikoshi was for them, never for someone like me. And so for a long time the Mikoshi lived only in my eyes, never in my heart. Everything changed on a day that looked ordinary, but became a turning point in my life. I had just bought a new Keitai. Back then, an 8-megapixel camera felt like holding the future. Walking from Ueno toward Bunkyōku Kasuga, I reached Yushima Shrine in the middle of its Reitai-sai. I didn't even know the word Matsuri at that time. From a safe distance, I stood behind the Mikoshi team, taking photos quietly with my new phone. I believed I was invisible, just another foreigner hiding behind a camera. But the Mikoshi sees more than we think. One of the men guiding the Katsugibo noticed me watching from behind. He looked at me for a moment, then he walked straight toward me. My heart froze. I'm in trouble. My first problem in Japan. But instead of anger, he greeted me with a bright smile and said, "Come on, get in, carry with us." I didn't speak Japanese then, but I understood everything. That moment engraved itself inside me forever, and yet I refused. Out of fear, confusion and shock, I said no. Only later did I realize that the Mikoshi opened a door that day, and I was too afraid to step through. I was wrong, completely wrong about the Mikoshi, and about this culture in general. I feared what I did not understand, and I closed my own heart. If my story teaches anything, let it be this. Do not turn away from a tradition before you truly know it. My wife is Japanese but grew up in the United States. Matsuri, Mikoshi. These were not natural topics between us, so without noticing it, I began this journey alone. And I asked myself, Mikoshi wa nan desu ka? What is a Mikoshi? Everyone answered the same. It is the sacred vehicle of the kami. A correct answer, but I felt there was something deeper behind it. Back home in Bunkyōku Kasuga, the face of that tall, thin man who invited me kept replaying in my mind. I began searching. What is the Mikoshi, really? And slowly, I understood something profound. The true essence of the Mikoshi is found in what cannot be seen. The more I studied, the more it pulled me in. I read about Shinto, shrine architecture, kami, rituals, mythology. I walked through Kanda buying old books, listening to the silent stories held in their worn pages. I visited shrines all over Tokyo and beyond, learning to read the language of each place. The torii, the komainu, the stone lanterns, the haiden. It was fascinating, beautiful, sometimes overwhelming, but it awakened something in me that I had never felt before. Not everything was easy. I visited shrines where the atmosphere alone made it clear I was not welcome. No words were spoken, but the eyes said enough. You should not be here. It hurt deeply, because by then I had already fallen in love with the Mikoshi and the world around it. But I did not give up. Akira Menakata. Something in me knew. This path was worth walking, even if I had to walk it alone. Over time, I realized something unexpected. If you want to understand Japan, the Matsuri is one of the greatest teachers. Watching a Mikoshi move through the streets, the rhythm, the unity, the silent respect, answered questions I didn't even know how to ask. I understood why apologies are offered even when no one is at fault. I understood the quiet strength, the patience, the discipline. These were echoes of Bushido. For me, the carriers of the Mikoshi are the samurai of today and tomorrow, warriors with a different armor, but the same spirit. As the warriors saw my sincere interest, they welcomed me, not with formal words, but with presence, laughter, and eventually, beer. When I came to Japan, I didn't drink alcohol at all. I refused every offer, and with each refusal lost a chance to share time with them. Eventually, I learned that beer was not a drink. It was a bridge. Now, when I get drunk during a matsuri, I lift my beer toward the sky and joke, "Damn you warriors, look what you've turned me into." Behind the joke is gratitude. I began 20 meters away from the Mikoshi. Today, after so many years, I stand among the warriors. And I found my mission: to capture these moments so future generations can look back and say, we must not lose the fury of Torigo. We must keep the power of Sanja's Miyairi. We must preserve the beauty of Hiratsuka Mishima Shrine. They protected the legacy of their ancestors. Now it is our turn, for 100 years, and 100 more after that. And now, in 2025, after walking this long road, I ask again, what is the Mikoshi? People say it is the sacred vehicle of the kami. That is true, but not complete. The Mikoshi is a vessel of memory, a place where generations quietly meet, where today's footsteps overlap with those who carried it long before. It is where the past returns like a gentle tide, where a man becomes a warrior for a single day, and where the warrior feels the faint presence of the divine moving beside him, shoulder to shoulder. So if someone today were to ask me again, what is the Mikoshi? I would humbly answer, the Mikoshi is the vehicle of the kami, but it is also the place where memory awakens, where the old and the new walk together, where tradition breathes, where the heart learns that time is not a straight line, but a circle that returns year after year to those who are ready to carry it. And I believe something more. The carriers know that when they lift the Mikoshi, they are also lifting this great country upon their shoulders. Every time I stand before a Mikoshi, I feel as if I'm standing before Japan itself. To me, the Mikoshi is the most beautiful thing human eyes have ever seen. And the Katsugaita, they are the true heroes of my story. Thank you, all of you, for allowing me to be even a small witness to this living tradition.
Yo!